All right, folks, there it is, the S&P 500 index, the SSGA SPDR. Honestly, I don't know what this stands for, and that's a problem. Um, so I'm kind of excited about just doing this one stock because I'm going to spend a lot of time getting to know it. I'm sorry, it's not a stock, it's an index. I'm gonna spend some time getting to know it. What is SSGA SPDR? But I'm not gonna bore you with that, and I'm not gonna bore myself with this in reflection. So let's, without further ado, get going here. This morning it was gapping up. It was looking mighty fine. It actually had some volume profile down in this region, and so when it pulled back, I thought that it would hold, and I grabbed a call and it shot up, and it was beautiful. But I got shook out. I got shook out like Little Sissy, and that's kind of tragic. In here, let's see, it made this big move, and it seemed to me that the move was bigger than average, but the volume was only slightly bigger than average. I didn't feel that the volume justified the move, and so I thought that it was going to pull back. So I grabbed a put. It didn't work out. I cut right away. I was very proud of that. Um, Lost $5, no big deal. This was this was the first really low volume move, and so you can see it pulls back, and because it was low volume, I didn't think that it was very significant. And then it was followed with an equal volume bar, and it had this upper wick on it, and it didn't really sell off. So I was thinking that this was a shooting star, and it was foreshadowing or foretelling a pullback. And I wanted to get in here with a put, but I really didn't have the conviction, and so I did not do it. Because, I mean, up here was somewhat close to all-time highs, which are right now, they're at, I think, 31.85. I don't think, yeah, it didn't get there today. So it was kind of close to all-time highs, and I thought that if it did break out, it would be a short squeeze. I didn't want to get stuck in that, which is silly, because I had just shown myself that I could cut losses quickly. But this was another morning of indecision, and I was feeling a little bit lost, so I did not want to go counter trend at this time. But as it turns out, that was the peak of the trend, and we had a lovely reversal today, and that would have been the shot, but you never know that in the moment. I'm trying to look at my other time frames and other charts and see if anything indicates to me that it was a great moment. But I don't see anything that really stands out. But at least for the short term, this would have been a good signal. These two low volume bars followed by this higher volume shooting star. Just a really great signal. I didn't take it. The stock pulled back, as you can see here, put in this lovely high volume hammer, and so So there was some stopping volume here. They held it up. And then I found this candle formation really interesting. Um, so it's a low volume push, followed by a lower volume hammer, followed by a lower volume shooting star. And I was thinking that that was all a very bearish sign. But again, I was just watching. I didn't get in. I just found this interesting. And so something to keep an eye on in the future. And we got this next hammer. And then when it failed, I got in. I grabbed a put. I was thinking, okay, this is confirming the trend. This has got a ways to go down. And it turned out to be very bad risk reward. That's what I have here, bad risk to reward. So I felt okay in my decision because this push was very low volume. And it followed this shooting star. So shooting star and then a very low volume push. But I was at some point down $10, $10 or $15 on my position. And if I'm only going to grab $20, which I did accidentally, if I'm only going to grab $20, then 10 or 15, being $10 or $15 down is just horrible risk reward. So I made a note there. That's what that's about. Let me clear some of this out as we go, so it's not all distracting. So those are calls on the bottom. I'm going to pause this and catch up with you. Okay, so as I was saying, I grabbed this put. I retained conviction despite this push because it was very low volume, but it was horrible risk to reward. Had conviction on the trade, but you know, that's not an excuse for defying the rules. Unless I say it is, but I haven't said it is, so it's bad. Then we come down here. I see this doji, and I think for a moment maybe it's a reversal, but this really low volume on it tells me that I'm safe, or at least I felt safe. And then in here, I was trying to set up my exit strategy, and I accidentally changed to a stop order, and I got stopped out for profit. So it was actually going really well too. And I think that was my best trade of the day. Let's see what time that was, 11:06, 11:06. Yeah, it was my best trade of the day, but just not as, did not go as intended. Could have been way better. That's okay. Stick and move, stick and move. So here I was thinking about grabbing a call because it put in this little tail. And I think purple means I chickened out. So I think I was going to grab it. And then I chickened out and it went without me. And then in here, this was kind of like the dojis from yesterday. I don't know if you saw my video from yesterday, but the difference is the volume. So in yesterday's on yesterday's chart, there were 3 dojis on the bottom, and it turned out to be a key level. And the volume was sinking, but the dojis remained the same, and then it broke out. But here, um, you can see the volume was low, high, low. The dojis didn't really maintain the same formation, but they did break out, just to no real effect. And so in here, I did grab a call because I recognized the formation. This volume push made me think that it was going to push, combined with the dojis, said, you know, this could be a reversal here. I was also looking at my 15-minute chart, and I believe at that time, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Yeah, there was also a low wick on the 15-minute chart at that time. And it was right at the bottom of a congestion range. And so I'm thinking it's gonna flip back up. It doesn't, I cut, no big deal. This doji here, or this tall upper wick, hit the VWAP very nicely. I don't put a lot of weight in the VWAP, but I think it's good to know, you know, is everybody underwater or above water for the day? But if you just use support and resistance, you have a pretty good idea where everyone's at. Oh, side note, I was really proud of myself because I threw this line in to kind of tell myself around where average volume was. And then I threw my volume indicator on it, and this is the 60 session average volume. And I believe when they say 60 session, they mean volume bars, not days. So 40 times 15. Anyway, I was proud of myself because I had a pretty good eye for it. I guessed right about the middle. I threw the bar on, and then I threw the indicator on, and it was right in here somewhere where I did it. Anyway, enough of my rambling. This low volume push, and then it pulled back. And at this point, I was actually preparing to leave because I had some errands to run. And I left the screen on because my display thing is complicated, and if I shut it down, I have to deal with it. So I just left it on, and as I was walking out the door, I saw this crack, and it was a really powerful crack, as opposed to these tails here. And I really thought that it was gonna go, but it did not. And then I left, and then I came back right about here, and I see it pulling back. I see it get to here, 369.74. 369.74. Right about the red-green level. And I think it's gonna bounce red-green. And, you know, hindsight is 2020, or 2020 is in hindsight, or whatever the phrase. So I see this push. I think this is reasonable volume. And normally, I think if I had been sitting here and watching, I would have gone bearish. I would have thought this is not going to break above this support. This is not a reversal. She's going down. And so I didn't act. She did break lower. And then I saw this guy in here, high volume. I'm thinking this is stopping volume because of this bounce here. And so I grab a call thinking that it's going to bounce. And I set my stop and it just swept right through my stop. My stop was totally ignored. And so I'm thinking I'm losing a lot more than I want to lose right now. Um, I've got to, I'm hoping for a bounce is what it was. I was waiting for a bounce and there wasn't a bounce. And I was like, okay, my secondary stop, like next leg down, get me out is gonna be $1. So I bought this put at $1.20. And I'm thinking if it drops below $1, I want TF out. And it was already down to like 110 at that point. And 115 was my initial stop. So it busts down 115, skips me, they don't care. And then I'm waiting for bounce and I'm thinking, okay, this hits $1 and I'm out, like $1.01. So it comes down to 102 and I put in my sell order and then it was in the 90s and I was like, mother crap. And then I'm thinking like, wait a minute, does like I had a moment of panic. Not panic, but just like crisis management, take a deep breath, make a quick plan. What can I do here? And so my first thought was like, wait a minute, does the S&P 500 bounce? Like, does this? It was ridiculous. But yeah, of course it bounces. It bounced here. It bounced yesterday. I've been playing bounces since Monday. Yes, the S&P 500 bounces. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to average down. I'm going to get out into a bounce. And so I add to my position. It's already bouncing a little bit. Worst time to add to my position. But I do it. I add to my position and I got 110, 109. I got 109 for it right here. And then it continues downward and I'm like, this is freaking insane. I'm just getting out. Like I put my limit order in and I put it at like 50 cents. Let me see. It felt like 50 cents. I think the price at the time was a lot lower or a lot higher. And I put my order in. I was just like, get me out. I put it in at 95 cents. And I filled right at the bottom, which is the exact thing that I was trying to avoid. But I also was not willing to lose any more than I already was. So I fill at the bottom and I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk away. This isn't the end of the world. I'll come back at it tomorrow. It'll be fine. And I'm getting ready to take my dog for a walk. And I look over and I still have a position. I was like, what is going on? So, so the market was somewhat merciful. I got out of that position for 5 extra cents. I did manage overall to take my losses from let's see. I took my losses from $40 down to $25. I think it might have been worse. Let's see. $25. Please stop. Yeah, no, I managed to get my losses down from $30, down from $40 up to 30. So it was not as bad as it could have been. Wasn't as good as it could have been either, but that's okay. And I really wanted to buy a put into this selling frenzy here, but I knew that I didn't have my head about me, and I did not think that I was making right choices anymore, and I decided to walk away. Keep my powder dry, live to fight another day, and we'll see what happens tomorrow, because this is right back down in the consolidation zone. It got a little tail um, sticking out under the consolidation. So I think that tomorrow we might have another run up. Oh, this note here, they already know the news. So this is something that I did that in retrospect frustrates me and probably screwed up my trade. Now I'm saying I screwed up my trade, but this probably added to my mistake. So, and this probably comes from trading penny stocks, from having experience in that world. I see it coming down. I think that it's at support. I see this reversal, and I glanced. I went through stocks to trade breaking news chat real quick. I was like, what is there on the SPY? And then there it is. This is actually, I think, yeah. Outline $1 trillion plan, stimulus plan, proposed direct payments, etc. I hopped on Market Watch and Yahoo Finance, and I got myself a news-based bias. And the note that I left to myself here is they already know the news. Like the market makers know the news, the algos know the news, the hedge funds know the news. Everybody who is 1,000 times smarter than me and way better at trading than me already knows the news. My strategy is not news-based. My strategy is technical analysis based. And so when I sought information outside the chart and I let it influence my belief, I screwed myself out of an amazing opportunity, and I screwed myself out of 30 bucks. So, so I left myself a little note, they already know the news. Knowing the news in this situation is not going to help me at all. All I need to worry about is what are the little green and red lights doing? What's the volume look like? Speaking of volume, man, look at this. This is incredible. Just boom, like a huge volume burst in the end of the day. Just amazing. And I do think that they are bringing it down so that they can load up, so they can run it again and sell it to us suckers. They're going to bring it down, load up, stimulus is going to hit, they're going to run it up, they're going to sell it to the suckers. That's my theory. That's my thesis. That's not a bias. It's not a forecast. I don't know what you would say, but I'm just gonna trade these little green and red lights. So thanks for watching. Happy New Year. I know it's already the 14th, but still, I hope that you have a great year, and I will talk at you later.